Valley, and this is Floral Art Online, and we're continuing our series looking at using one bunch of supermarket flowers to make some things to brighten up your Christmas decor, let's say. Not just necessarily the Christmas table, but it might be around the house, it might be something that you want to give someone. So today we're going to look at very minimalist use of the flowers. So if you've looked at the other videos, you'll see that I get between 4 and 6 stems in one bunch of flowers. So in this particular 2 designs that I'll do for this style, I'm only actually going to use, in this one I'm going to use 5 single flowers, and because they come on a stem that has multi-number of flowers, so that's basically using less than 1 stem out of the bunch. So you could do something like this, and maybe one of the other designs that we did in the previous videos, and that out of one bunch of flowers you might get 3 or 4 things that you can put around the house or that you can take for gifts. Such an easy way to be a little bit creative this Christmas rather than have to buy something that everyone else has seen or everyone else has given in the past. So let's have a look at this one first of all. I picked up this is a basket base. I guess it's probably a fruit bowl, something like that. At a charity store, so it was $1, which is always a great place to look for containers. When you're looking at those places, don't think about the container as something that you need to use it for its original purpose. But think about what you could do with it. Just let your mind wander. Think about what you could do with it, what you could put in it that would lift it up, that would make it part of something bigger than it actually has to be. So that's the base. These pine cones were given to me by my neighbour. They're just pine cones that have been painted white. She didn't want them, so I thought, well, I can use them, no problem at all. And what I've done is fill in the gaps with Christmas baubles. Now some of these are just placed in, some of these are actually, let me find one. I've used the hanger to place it around the, oh, there's a better one I can get at. So just use the hanger to place it around part of the pine cone so that it looks like it's hanging off the tree almost. Some of them are glued down, are hot glued down onto the base, because we're going to actually use those as the water container. And the beauty of these baubles, which I tend to go out after Christmas and look for where the bargains are and grab a whole lot of different colours for the following Christmas designs. They're all plastic, or they're made with ping pong ball base and just extruded a bit further. So you take the hanging cap off the holes. I'll show you on this one. So take the hanging cap off. If you need a larger opening, you can cut that collar off as well. It's just a matter of cutting it with scissors, but I'm going to use them as they are. And then you fill them with water, and that becomes the water source for your plant material. So I've just put a few in there. I'm going to put a little bit of greenery that I've picked from the garden. They're succulents, so they don't need to be in water. They can just sit there comfortably. If they were in water, they'd probably start throwing out shoots, roots in less than a week. And so you could actually give them away if you wanted to, but they're quite happy to be out of water that way for a couple of weeks at least. Just a little note on the hot gluing side of things. I will recommend to you Floral Art Fingers, of course. These are available on the site, and the link will be down in the description. But basically, it's a silicone fingertip that will protect your fingers from getting burnt with the hot glue. If you're someone who uses the florist glue, the cold glue, it will also protect you from that, which is an awful trial to try and get off your fingers once it's on. But great for the hot gluing. And for any sort of craft activity where you're using the hot glue, you can use these. I only use the 2 because that's generally the fingers that I use to press down and to pinch things together. But in the pack that comes from the website, you actually get 5 in all different sizes, and so you can put them on every finger if you need to. Great innovation, great saving for my fingers long term. We'll get them out of the way and we'll get started on this design. So as you can see, I've just put the 5 pine cones in just to give me some structure in there. I've glued in a few of the baubles, as I said, and some I'm just going to rest there, and that was more so I could show you what I was doing. It also means that if I want to put more greenery in certain areas, then I can still move them around and have them around. Those ones are glued on. Structural element. So let's fill those with water. I think they're all filled with water now, except one. So this is a great investment if you're going to do this sort of thing. You might already have one that you use for some of your other plants or watering the ferns and things. I think people use them for, and it's just a matter of that. It's just an easy way to fill the water up. They're already got water in them. This one hasn't. And so there we go. There, it's all ready to go. And basically, all we want to do is the ones that have got the openings and the water, we just want to put some floral material in there. Now some of these stems are from another design, they're going to be a bit too long, so we'll cut them down a little bit. And what we're looking for here is just that the plant material of the flower sits right on top of the collar. We don't want it sitting above the bauble, we want it just to be look like it's bursting out. And obviously you could do this with even shorter. You could do this colour matched to your table scheme. And I'll just show you there, fluffing out, the very technical term, fluffing out the flowers. So just basically soft hand, just pressing on it like that, just to push it out a little bit, to open it up a little bit. If you've got petals that are a bit tired, just pull them from the base. You're allowed to do that. Just makes it cleaner and neater. So as I said, the look I'm going for is just one that indicates that we're bursting with excitement over Christmas. And all of these colours are jumping out. The beauty of this sort of arrangement is that if you've got it up, say you put it up at the beginning of December, you could change the flowers out. So it'd just be a matter of making sure the water's topped up. The beauty of having the clean stem is that no material that might create bacterial infection is going to happen in the water, so you're not going to get cloudy water or smelly water if all of that is clean, and then you put them straight into your containers. A little one, half open. We don't want them all to look the same, we want them to be a little bit of interest in them. So this one we'll have is just a little, just getting ready to open, just ready to start the excitement of Christmas. Right, so that's our flower placements. Now if you wanted to, you could actually leave it like that. It's interesting all around. One of the other things that we learn when we're doing competitions is not to place things flat facing. So if you see here, placing it in a diamond shape gives it more interest than if you place it very rigidly and straight on that way. So I would always recommend that you just try it, little angles here and there, just to see which placement of the whole arrangement suits best for the environment that it's in. Now I'm just going to add some of this succulent material just to soften the look a little bit and give it a bit more green. And make it a bit more Christmassy, I guess. What we want to do is bring out some of the greenery onto this collar of the container, so that it's not quite so stark. It does frame it, and it does repeat the colour that's in the cones, but we don't want it to be the dominant part. They don't want to be, and when we say dominant, that means we don't want everyone to look at the design and then just keep staring at this collar. We want them to look in the design and see what's interesting inside the design. So we would generally like to say that you should repeat things, so you repeat the plant material that you're using, you repeat the colours that you're using, because that's what our eyes like to see. And so that's what I'll do with these placements. just filling in the gaps, you know, so I can see, because I'm looking down onto it, I can see gaps that maybe are not as obvious to you looking from the front. But remember again, when you're putting something together, think about how people are going to be looking at it. Are they going to look at it from the top? Are they going to look at it from the side? Work with the natural way that the plant material falls as well. So you'll see that this piece that I just put in there, it came around, and so that was the best spot for it because I can bring it around there. It's over the edge, it's around this placement, so it's working without me having to manipulate it too much. And don't be afraid to cut things down. Yeah, almost done. So what I'm liking about this is that it almost looks like it's the forest of the pine cone trees, and these other trees are around it, and then we've just got these other little things that are bursting out around it. So it's an interesting design, it's different, it's something of a more modern take on Christmas than we might otherwise have. And remember that we've only used 5 individual flowers in that. So whether you have 5 individual flowers that you pick from the garden, and they can be buds, they don't have to be flowers that are all out. Remember to keep the size and the shape of the flower in proportion to the rest of the design that you're going to do. But there we have our Christmas diamond with 5 flowers from one bunch of supermarket flowers.